Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Van Sub Life, Vancouver's Subculture Living. This is Reno P, and I'm joined here with the Bionicfraud, Mr. Eric Lam.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, it's still pretty new to the podcast, but we'll see how it goes. So, we'll just start off with a basic question. How long have you been living in Vancouver for? All
In
your life?
Vancouver,
Or
just about pretty much all my life. I mean, I moved here when I was three,
from,
from Hong Kong,
okay.
and so it's been 24 years. I've been living in Vancouver for 24 years.
So you're pretty much a Vancouver at this point, like...
Pretty much. I mean that depends because the definition of Vancouver, right? It's like, okay, are you inside the Vancouver core, or are you in like Metro Vancouver? Because for me, I live about 30, 40 minutes away in the Tri-Cities in Coquitlam
yeah,
first, and now I live in Port Moody, but I've always lived in the Tri-Cities part.
yeah.
But
The term Greater Vancouver is really big, right?
yeah, it's like when you say Seattle, and then most of the time you don't really mean Seattle downtown.
Yeah.
Or they're like in Bellevue or
Exactly. Same thing with Vancouver. Like people say like Abbotsford or like Langley.
Langley's still in. Abbotsford still is like kind of almost not. And
Yeah.
Hope and Chilliwack. Now that's just
Yeah, no, that's Fraser Valley at
That's-
that point.
That's where the cell phone reception you're actually distanced now. I know because they sell cell phones.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Abbotsford was kind of the cutoff.
As like the last draw from Vancouver. quote
Yeah, so for
unquote,
me,
area.
it's like Tri-City boy, but then both my parents, they worked in Vancouver.
Right.
They,
So do you.
And now I do now, so I spend up a lot of my time, as a kid growing up in Chinatown
Okay.
as well. So I'm actually fairly quite familiar with the progression of Chinatown and Vancouver over the last 24 years.
So you would have like not really much recollection of like living in Hong Kong because you'd be like 3. I mean,
Not much. I probably have like 2 mememories, but yeah.
like your accent. You don't even have an accent. You're just like flat out like.
Well, you know what it is now as being Chinese. They see a kid like me, and then
Yeah.
just my appearance, and they just assume we don't speak
yeah.
Cantonese. We can't speak the language,
Because
and
of
then
our faces.
it's
yeah.
always a surprise when I do sometimes.
Okay.
Especially when I go into the older shops, and it's run by like a
Grandpa, yeah.
or even my parents' friends, who are surprised that I can speak the language.
Because you
Cantonese.
pretty much grew up here.
And then they're like wishing their kids could speak it as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like-
that's what I got a lot. It's almost like just by itself, I'm an attraction
So,
by that.
when you're growing up here with your parents, like, did they speak Cantonese mainly to you? Or?
No, they kind of shift. For the first like 11 years, they were speaking English to me because they wanted me to learn it.
Of course, yeah.
And all that, but they both worked, right? So my childcare was my grandmother, who only spoke Cantonese.
Okay.
So that's actually a huge part of why I actually retain the little Cantonese a little that I can.
Of course, yeah. People
And
speak
then,
your grandmother. I'm the same way.
What kept me speaking it as well was when most of the movies and
Okay.
when your uncle owns a Laserdisc shop.
Laserdisc.
Import Laserdisc shop.
Oh, import Laserdisc.
Everything was Cantonese, so I was watching a lot of Cantonese movies. All my anime was in Cantonese
Right, yeah.
as well. And so that's the second part of why I have
still retain.
I retain my Chinese speaking ability.
Yeah.
And on top of that, on every Saturday I would go to language school
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You had to go to language school.
on Saturdays for Cantonese. And then
Okay.
when I hit high school, I took Mandarin out of all the languages because number one, French. I was like, no, I need to drop
forget
this.
it. No.
Right. And
This
then
was in
it
the
was
city.
Spanish, Japanese, and Mandarin, and of course all my friends spoke Japanese.
Yeah,
It was a
popular.
foreign language.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm just saying, well, I'm Chinese. I think I'm obligated to learn Mandarin.
Right.
And also, it seemed to be the most useful language.
In
for
this
business,
city,
moving
yeah,
on,
in
yeah.
Vancouver, it's like I would say like definitely Mandarin or Cantonese.
That was my choice.
Korean, yeah.
Not a lot of my friends went with Mandarin. So yeah, I'm kind of like the oddity because again, a lot of my friends learn Japanese.
right,
A lot of my friends, they watch anime. They're in the Japanese subculture.
right.
They can speak it. And then there's me.
Yep, there's you. There's
And I'm just like,
Bionicfraud,
oh,
Eric
I'm the Mandarin speaker.
Yay, man! It is an asset, I think, especially like wherever you go.
But it's great because we live in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of people from
there-
Hong Kong.
a lot of people in Hong Kong, and there's a lot of pockets of the Chinese community
For sure.
everywhere. So in Richmond, you have it used to be Cantonese. Now it's like
Yeah,
like
mainland.
the baller Mandarin speaking ones, and then you have East Van, which is like a mix of the Vietnamese, Cantonese
Right,
group,
popular demographics,
and in the Tri-Cities there used to be quite a bit of the Cantonese.
Okay.
For whatever reason they couldn't go that far in. I didn't understand it, but and then the Tri-Cities are getting a higher population of Koreans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch
Like
like
the
every
Coquitlam
year.
area.
There's more and more Koreans seeping into the Tri-Cities. Because Lougheed is Koreatown.
Yep.
And then for some reason it skips like Coquitlam, Port Moody, Port Coquitlam.
And then what does it become?
And then it goes to Maple Ridge.
Huh.
And then Maple Ridge is the second concentration
Of Cantonese?
of Korean.
Oh, Korean. Okay.
And then
So Vancouver really is like a melting pot of like not just Asian
and
communities.
That's great because was it? I'm trying to remember which street it was, but
In Coquitlam?
in Vancouver,
Right.
I think there's like a little India,
There probably is.
a street that's full. I think it's, was it Fraser? I think it's some part of Fraser
Maybe.
Street.
I mean, there's a little
And
other
then,
city that's
and then of
associated
course
with,
you have West
India,
Van, Kerrisdale, North Van.
Yeah.
That's got the. To my knowledge, anyways, a population of like the rich Caucasians.
right?
Uh,
Yeah, Kerrisdale for sure.
Kerrisdale, and that's what makes Vancouver great. Again, it's that melting pot, and
A lot of people, a lot of people bring their cultures into the city.
and
as
they're
well, right?
intermixed too.
Yeah.
It's a great country, great city to explore. So just in food, because I love
lots of
exploring
fusion.
culture food. So you can get the fusion, like so you go to downtown, you get like the Asian fusion,
Yeah.
the Japanese fusion, but at the same time you have so many like Eastern like Vietnamese, and you can go and try that. You want to try Chinese, you got your Szechuan, your Cantonese.
You even look at like
everywhere.
chicken wings at places. They have like teriyaki everywhere,
Yeah.
right? Or like some kind of like butter chicken pizza
Yeah.
now,
So you
right?
can get the fusion, you can get the authentic,
Yeah.
and you don't really have to travel. We're very fortunate for that.
Yeah, it's like location-wise, everything in Vancouver like it's got.
And it's a metropolitan, but it's not huge. It's not like LA big.
No.
But we have the variety of that, and that's why I love
Yeah.
Vancouver so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of municipalities like Richmond, Coquitlam, New West,
Yeah,
Burnaby.
and like
But, Vancouver itself is not like massive.
yeah, I had coworkers that come from like Kelowna, like the
Wow.
interior, and then they were restricted to like their maybe 2-3 Chinese restaurants, and then if they really wanted, they had to travel to Vancouver.
You know,
For me-
a certain guy stationed in New Brunswick is also limited enough.
Yeah, our
you
friend
mentioned
Rob.
it. Yeah, our friend. Yeah, maybe we'll get him someday. But
and then for me and for us, it's like I come pick you up, drive 20-30 minutes, boom, we got Japanese, we got Korean, we got
everything. Yeah, we got just like we're just driving around Kingsway and Burnaby.
Yeah.
Vietnamese right there.
Yeah.
How many full places do we pass by in Kingsway? Kingsway's pretty long.
yeah. And not just that too, right? I mean, there's Vietnamese, Japanese, like street places everywhere.
But, right.
Everywhere.
So going back to Chinatown, Vancouver. What is the street of Chinatown? Do you know what the intersections are?
Huh?
The intersections or the general area?
For me, it's my mother worked around the closer to the Strathcona area, so near
Strathcona.
the Moore Street,
Okay.
in a senior home, and then my father worked. I think it was. He's closer to the TNT.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember which street it was, but it's further down.
Not Cordova?
Yes, Cordova. Yes.
Yeah.
Cordova. So.
You spent a lot of time there, I guess. Then?
Yeah,
With your folks, right?
because they would have company banquets.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they would have company parties, and they would just take us.
So did you go to school and is there any schools in Chinatown?
Yeah, there are. There's Strathcona.
But did you go to that one?
I always went to school in the Tri-Cities.
And then
in Coquitlam.
So when your parents were working, your grandma would look after you when you were young.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to school in
Coquitlam.
which school did you go to?
I went to Eagle Ridge Elementary,
Eagle Ridge.
and then
Okay.
I went to. Then we moved higher up to Western Plateau in Coquitlam, so I had to switch schools away from my friends. And I went to Summit Middle School,
Right.
and then we were by fluke somehow because they did the rezoning of the high schools
Okay.
when I entered, and then I ended up in Glen Eagle. Surprisingly, and
okay.
then not Pine Tree, because Pine Tree was closer. And Glen Eagle was where all my friends from Eagle Ridge went to. So yeah, we were
lucky
united. You got really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then So I guess I can't really tell you. I asked you about the education and how it compares overseas because you pretty much grew up here and with the educational system here.
Sorry, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So so you went to Simon Fraser University, same as I did.
Yeah.
And that I'm pretty sure required you to have a language 11 or 12 equivalent to make it in.
Yeah, that was Mandarin.
So you used Mandarin.
I used Mandarin. Yeah.
But you took Mandarin 12 anyways.
I took Mandarin 10, 11, 12.
Oh, 10. Oh, you had 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Because in my school, I think we only had 12 or something.
Ooh, what? Only 1 year?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
But this was like 10 years ago, so I don't know what it is now.
I mean, that's really rough. I mean, even for taking 3 years, I can barely like speak it and keep up with it.
But it was enough for you to get into
University, yeah.
So your program, it was the IAT program?
Yeah, School of Inter Arts and Technology.
Okay. And
What the major was in media arts.
Okay. So it has different streams in that faculty.
Yeah, there was. I don't remember, but it was media arts. I think the other one was graphic design, and the third one was informatics. Informatics. So that informatics is where you visualize data.
Okay, can you give me an example of that?
Yeah. So you could let's say, for example, be given like a spreadsheet of like I don't know, something random, like maybe. Like the population growth of a city.
Okay,
and so you would just get this like CSV file of raw data.
Okay.
And then our project was to somehow visualize it somehow. So create like maybe a plot point graph.
Oh, okay.
Create a program that would take the data, compile it, and then visualize it like that.
In some kind of way that's presentable.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you're not making like some kind of fancy weird art out of the like data.
No, there were courses like that.
Really?
There were some courses like that. That was IAT 222, I believe.
Okay.
Where it could be anything. 222 was, I believe, I don't remember the exact name, but the overall theme of the course was that anything can be art, given the right descriptions.
Okay, yeah.
So long as it's perceived as art, it's art.
Yep.
And then the final project we had our any choice, our free reign of it, and that was a trademark the CET program.
Was that for your final project?
Yeah, you could choose what you really want to explore.
And then so you majored in the media art stream.
Yeah.
And then you had to do a final project for that as well, or how's that?
Oh no, not final project for like the program. Final project for the courses.
Oh, okay. And so what would you say the IAT program really is? Is it just pretty much what you mentioned, just using the data?
And technology. It's constantly gone and it's changed a lot, but
there's a course in game design.
I would say it's a general study in the field of media, digital media.
Okay.
That's definitely the focus of it, and it's a really free program. You get what you take out of it. Again, most of the courses, the final project was you just choose a subject and you research, and then you create.
Oh, interesting.
Create something out of it.
So it really gives you free reign, and also it kind of makes you take your own responsibility into making your own project and determining your own success.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a big part of university life? Learning those lessons, being resourceful.
I would say it's a little closer to the real world, the working world, than say some programs and courses which just here's the curriculum, here's the final exam, here's the final project, just do this.
Right, it's not some
and where it's all structured. And
yeah.
Like in the real world, the business world, like so many job descriptions I'm sure you've seen.
Yep.
Ad hoc responsibilities.
Yeah, they do.
That's what CET really preps you for. Like it turns you into a flexible worker.
Okay.
And also, I didn't go into it, but the real shining part of CET is the master's program.
Oh, really? Okay.
Where actually I have a coworker that's in it right now, and it's like research, like any other master's program.
Right, of course, yeah.
But again, with media focus.
Yeah, that's sort of like a thesis.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have fun at school?
Well.
Did you enjoy your education?
It's definitely two-pronged. Like university was academically, no.
Okay. Studying sucked?
Not. Yes and yeah. Like I mean, thinking about constantly doing assignments and all that. It's like, what are we getting out of it? Because for me, I was very fortunate with Glen Eagle being a fairly well-funded school.
Yeah.
And our our graphic design, our media arts courses were actually very good for a high school level.
Oh, okay.
So even before going into university, I already knew how to use Flash. I already knew how to edit videos.
Oh, okay.
Everything like that, and a lot of the courses, even straight up into third year, were just introductions to those. Introduction
Really?
to video editing, introduction to Flash, which was stuff that
You already covered.
I already covered and already knew.
And you're just paying like $500 for
for
class.
the region. Like I remember going into university thinking, okay, I'm gonna come out doing movies or short videos, YouTube videos, things like that. And
Social media.
Yeah, and then so they only had 2 video courses.
Real in the whole program.
The entire program, and they were both 3rd and 4th year courses. So I waited
upper division.
and one 3D course, and I was really stoked to do 3D.
Okay.
Because so I slugged through 3 years just to get those courses, just to find out it was an intro course.
Oh,
and I knew everything about it.
Oh, waste of time and money. You're just paying for a piece of paper at this point.
I mean when you break it down realistically, that's what it is. That's what all education. But it's really what you take out of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the best part of university was fighting games.
So we'll segue into that in a little bit. That's kind of the meat and juice of the your background. Did you ever do any co-op terms?
No, not officially. I didn't because of again fighting games.
Okay, so we might as well go into that right now. So when we were young men in university in our 2nd, 3rd year, I don't know, a certain game came out. What game was that again?
Street Fighter 4?
Oh no, the one after that. A certain Capcom fighting game after.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Marvel vs. Capcom, a vanilla version of Marvel. It came out 2012.
I think it was 2011.
The vanilla version.
Yeah.
Right.
Vanilla.
And it was just on the rise of a certain club made by 2 men who I don't know if we can name them now, but
so you're talking about the 7th grader Surrey SFU Surrey Games Club.
Okay, so that's an interesting thing. Surrey campus at SFU actually has a gaming room.
Yep. And then it had a gaming room, and it had like consoles from Super Nintendo.
Yep.
All the way to PS3.
Yep.
And they also had an arcade machine.
They do.
And that room was for the video game course.
There's a video game course?
Yeah, there was one video game course.
And what program was that in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's what it was. It was for people that maybe didn't have consoles that play games, research games.
Research games.
Yeah, like I remember when I took that course, one of the assignments was to play like 2-3 games and then write about it. Write about them.
Yeah. Okay, and then so and then basically where I met you was club was formed on Burnaby campus, CGC.
CGC, okay.
It was early days. I think by that time it formed. I think Ultimate Marvel was out. Was it?
By the time we started doing events on Burnaby, that was because Ultimate came out in 2012.
Right, and that was around the time when the club was formed, right?
CGC, yeah. That was new.
But there was also gatherings at I believe Magic Stronghold, right?
Magic Stronghold, yeah.
And man, that game was popping. It was like how many? So like 5 setups maybe.
5, 6 setups.
And got a whole bunch of players just going in there playing games. Marvel mainly. It was a huge crowd, like so popular. And at the forefront, you were spearheading it, weren't you? You were part of that, weren't you?
At the beginning, I was, yeah. Because with fighting games back then, right in 2010, like 2009, Street Fighter 4 came in.
And just like revitalized.
That was the renaissance of fighting games, but that was arcade only. And then when the arcade version finally dropped, console version dropped, was
2010? Was it 2010? Yeah, it must have been.
Yeah,
it was after we were in high school. So.
And then Kenny Ryu started running VSB tournaments at VSB monthlies.
And where was VSB at the time?
VSB was in Richmond at the E-Spot.
Sorry, Vancouver Street Battle.
Yeah.
It was at
E-Spot in Richmond.
Right, and that's an internet cafe and arcade?
Yep.
Yeah,
okay. And that was... And, it just used to be only Street Fighter 4.
Right.
And I remember the first one, holy crap, we had over 100 people.
At E-Spot?
E-Spot, that was the first...
In the place where on that little balcony?
Yeah. No, that was on the first floor.
Oh, so they had a first floor.
It was first floor in the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it a small place, or how big was the area?
How big was the area? It's about the size of the room we're in right now. But you had about 6 setups.
Okay.
And
100 folks.
100 folks for the first one. Yeah.
For Vanilla 4.
Yep. Vanilla 4. You know, it's like the first monthly week Vancouver ever had.
Yeah, he put it on the map for our community.
Yeah, and then started monthlies 2, 3, and then Marvel dropped I believe on the 3rd or 4th one.
Right.
And then there was kind of a separation of crowd because most of the Street Fighter players were from Richmond at the time.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine that. Yeah.
And then most of the Marvel players were actually Burnaby. There was me in the Tri-Cities.
Right in right.
And then their Street Fighter guys weren't really that. Not a majority of the Street Fighter guys weren't interested in Marvel.
Yeah,
and so
they still stick to their guns.
And I guess Kenny being a Street Fighter like kept ESB as Street Fighter 4. And then we're all kind of looking for Marvel events.
Is that where Canadian Joysticks came in?
I met yes and no. Canadian Joysticks. I met Jackson in the first BSB.
Okay, he was there.
And then second BSB was revealed that he was Canadian Joysticks. He's the one that sold the combos.
Right. Yeah.
Which was completely new at the time.
Which you can visit at CanadianJoysticks.com.
Okay. CanadianJoysticks.com. And then so met him. He was actually the one that ran my bracket. The first BSB.
For Street Fighter 4.
For Street Fighter 4.
Okay.
And then I got the idea of having Ron to run our own tournament.
For Street Fighter 4 or Marvel?
For Marvel. Marvel 3.
Ultimate Marvel?
Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Vanilla.
Okay, Vanilla. Alright.
Because just VSB really wasn't in it. And back then we had an esports organization that wanted to get into Street Fighter 4.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, this is news to me.
I don't remember what their name was, but I worked with them and tried to get something going.
Oh, I believe I searched on YouTube for Vancouver Gaming Channel, and there was Bionicfraud on it. Was that maybe it?
I don't know. No.
We'll talk about it after later.
Yeah, because they never ran a Marvel. They actually went into StarCraft. For
esports.
Yeah, for reasons they had to break off from fighting games and just do
StarCraft 2 launched around the same time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, around 2012.
That's right. So going back to Marvel, so we always wanted to, we ran small little school club events.
At
SW Surrey.
We did.
And then
but how did the Magic Stronghold thing come to be then?
That was after.
It was after?
Yeah. There's actually,
oh, I thought it was like before.
Yeah, there's actually a history to this.
Okay,
and then,
sure.
It actually leads all the way back to the Japanese tsunami that hit in 2011.
Really?
Yeah, so we were always running the Gamescom. We were always just running events within the school. We wanted to do something like VSB where we got other people
in the community, not just students.
And then, we always thought, man, sorry, that mezzanine was such a great venue it would be.
The mezzanine level of
so much
Surrey
space.
Central,
They had they held like video game events there before.
They did. I didn't know that.
They had melee tournaments and brawl tournaments there.
Okay,
That's what gave me that we can do it here. And then problem was it was too expensive. It was $900 a day.
Oh,
$900.
So to make up the difference, it's just a lot of entrants.
A lot of entrants, like 180 entrants at $10 each.
$10 a piece, yeah.
And we can't do that because it was a school event. School policies made it so you couldn't have pots and you couldn't have an entry fee.
Oh, so so it's got to come out of your own pocket?
No, it couldn't have a prize, cash prize.
A monetary prize.
Because we could again, and dealing with university, there's a lot of policies and red tape. A lot, because university,
I can imagine.
You can't have any form of gambling.
It's
like even like perceived. Like I doubt we would even have a pachinko over here.
No.
Yeah, and so it was on the back burner of my mind, but then I kind of okay, it's not possible. But then when the Japanese tsunami hit, I don't know what clicked in my head, but then all of a sudden I thought about it and I was like, wait, what if I turn the event into a charity event
for the tsunami victims?
Yeah, for the tsunami victims, all proceeds, every penny goes to the goes to like
the relief,
a cost, the relief fund for that.
Yep.
And then when I pitched it to the SMU's, the Simon Fraser Student Society,
right?
They said it worked. And then all of a sudden, we had full support from the university. They gave us the venue for free for both days.
Really?
Full support, equipment, everything.
Equipment as in like the TVs?
Projectors, sound equipment, mics, the sound system in the mezzanine.
Right.
And then yeah, that basically was the green light. And then all of a sudden, and then when I went to sponsor like game deals, was one Brian Hughes, which is located in New Westminster, one of the coolest and well-priced and best variety of used games.
And he's still there now.
He's still there, and yeah, he's still kicking it. Brian Hughes is one. He's a really good businessman. He's a really good, great friend in person. He's one of my highly respected people.
Okay.
And I work with a lot of people, and a lot of TOs.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Brian is number one.
Okay.
I can tell you. And then another important group that I met there was what was it? Oh, IRL events.
IRL events.
IRL events. And then who's still around?
Just one guy? Or?
No, back then it was run by Greg and James.
Okay.
I don't remember the last names, but Greg. I'm probably butchering his name, like Nagger, I think it was, and then James like Charleston.
Okay.
I think it was. But IRL events, what it is that they are they're a silent community for people that like to play games, like any type of games, board games, D&D,
so not necessarily video games, but like other games.
And they just gather, meet up.
IRL events.
Yeah.
IRL events to make offline gatherings.
And then they were, and their equipment sponsors. Like if you go to.
Oh really?
If you go to Anime Evolution. They were the.
Which is a convention in Vancouver, by the way.
Yeah. If you went to Anime Evolution, the games, their equipment comes with them.
Oh, okay. So they provide the gear.
Yeah, they do as well. And then, so we were looking for games. We need Xboxes. We need TVs. We need a lot of them. And we didn't have them. We only had like 2-3 monitors, things like that. So IRL Events was our equipment sponsor.
Really? Okay.
And they had an event 2 weeks later called Vancouver.
Vancouver, I remember hearing about
and they were looking for someone to run fighting games because their specialty was LAN. Games, StarCraft, Computer.
Warcraft.
Our specialty was fighting games.
So
no partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the deal was, they would provide us the equipment free of charge, and we would run their event 2 weeks later.
Oh, okay. Things seem to work out.
Two of the most important lessons I learned was, marketing. It's not exactly what product you are selling, it's how you present it and market it.
Yes.
In terms of the charity event and helping me get the venue, taught me that. And then number 2 was, it's not always business. It's not always about money.
Nope.
It's about really what you can do for me, what I can do for you. How can we help each other out?
Some kind of gain
bartering.
Yeah.
Barter system, and it's always just build relationships, networking with people,
building a community.
Yeah, and then that's another way of going about it. I mean, and because versus the alternative, which is just keep throwing money at it.
Yeah, that's so not good. So this you actually made this event, this tsunami event.
It was, and then just for organization's sake, I created. We need a brand, we need a group name for this.
Oh, okay.
So then, because marketing as SFU Sir Games Club or Eric and
the gang.
Gang. It was kind of hard to market, and then it's just it's probably easier if we had a group name, and I started Cross X Over.
Okay.
That
might have been it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then that was the my group's name. That we went under, and so it's called the Crossover. What was it called? Crossover Japan Relief. That was the event's name.
Okay.
And then
and this was on the mezzanine level of the Central campus of Santa Fe University.
Yep.
Okay.
And then so we did that, and then was it a learning experience?
Okay.
Will I say that event was well run? Absolutely not.
Was that your first large scale kind of organization?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And what was it? Well run? No, not at all. We didn't even know what buys were, because we're looking in Shell it's why is there
buys? Could you explain that a little bit?
And so in a tournament, if you don't have an even number of entrants, if you're a 16-man bracket and you don't have 16 people, it's not even.
It isn't. You kind of
there are some people that start off one round ahead, and those are called buys. They receive a buy.
Oh, okay. It's not a seeding.
Yeah, me and James, we didn't even know that going in, and we're like, what is this? So we rigged it, and then we didn't know until top 3 that wait. This is messed up. So they had to do a round robin in top 3 to determine the top 3, and then they had to do the actual top 3.
The actual top 3.
It was a learning experience. The TVs were laggy, and then the equipment had the characters unlocked, which we asked for, all that.
Wait, in Marvel 3?
Yeah, it's in Street Fighter. Marvel.
Oh yeah, because Street Fighter Vanilla had walk characters.
And so, well run, no.
Okay.
So we took the lessons, we took it to Vancouver. Very grateful to the guys that, the players, the participants that helped us out, got us and gave us a second chance as well.
Shout out to community.
Yeah, absolutely. And to the guys not here anymore.
Yeah, we'll get into the Last Samurai bit here.
Yeah, and then we went out to Vancouver,
right?
And then yeah, so we ran Vancouver as well. Again, not really well run, but took lessons from it. The participants really came and helped us out.
Of course.
Peter and Dan. They stepped up to help me run the brackets for Marvel and Street Fighter.
Where?
At Vancouver.
At Vancouver.
And I really couldn't have done it without them. So really, like, I'm very extremely grateful to them. And
okay.
After that, I just after 2 bad events, and afterwards, we didn't really have plans to go on, keep going. And then so you know what? No, we're done. We're done.
So yeah, so I remember going back to Magic Stronghold. How did that come about then?
No, we're getting to it. We're almost there.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So then all of a sudden, because I thought the guys had a terrible time, and then
it seemed like a nightmare.
And we had also the FPS organizer was always trying to grab our setups. There was equipment shortage, things like that. And so then I thought, we're done. Crossover, we're not running more events.
That was the biggest, yeah.
And then some of the guys were like, hey, when's the next one?
Oh.
And then I was like, really? I thought, really? You guys giving me another chance? And on top of that, you guys, want more, from us? And then, I just
came as a surprise.
Yeah, it came as a very pleasant surprise, and that was, again, the community support.
Yeah. And that was the start.
Yeah, that was really the part that got me even more motivated. So, you know what? No, the next one I'm not going to mess up.
Okay.
And then I was friends, and still am, with Mike Feldman.
Mike Feldman.
Yeah, and then Mike invited us to hey, we found this place in Burnaby, Royal Oak, and Rumble, and that was a card game shop, and it was called Magic Stronghold.
There it is.
Magic Stronghold game. So it was a card shop, and they just gave us a space for maybe 4-6 setups.
Okay. Yeah. And it was kind of like a back warehouse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. The floor was concrete.
That was the start of weeklies. This for every Wednesday night.
And so that'd be 2012, 13?
11.
2011, because Vanilla, right?
But, yeah, Ultimate was not out yet.
Oh, it is Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, it was Street Fighter 4, and then it was Vanilla. I think Super was out by then.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's where I introduced the Joysticks Jackson
to do the streaming.
I introduced them to Mike.
Okay.
And then they started working on a few things by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stronghold, I think this went on about a couple months later.
Yeah.
A couple months later, Mike Stronghold moved to their new location on Kingsway.
Okay.
And that was really the start of it.
Oh, that's the warehouse.
That was the big garage.
The garage, the back.
Yeah. And so we just everything moved, and our weeklies moved with them. And then suddenly we had this huge garage, 8 setups, and then we had a place to stream. And,
and they would also hold their card games.
Their card game shops,
at the same time,
at
the same
time,
space.
Yeah. And then
got 2 melee setups, I think, on the CRTs.
And they had their own setups, and they were at the time they were Evo Spec, it was the Asus monitors.
Evo Spec.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And they had the Xboxes there, they had the games there. So, and then we brought our own as well, so we had more than enough setups to run tournaments, things there. So yeah, that was the start of weeklies and streaming.
And it was every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday.
And streaming. Jackson was on that? Or
yep, Jackson was on that. Yeah, Jackson started streaming at my events at the Japan Relief in Vancouver.
Right.
And then he went off and to start streaming our weeklies.
Yeah.
So that was the start of Stronghold, and then I was always...
So the Relief event came first, and then Stronghold.
Relief event, Vancouver, and then Stronghold.
Okay, yeah, Vancouver, okay.
Yeah. And it was weeklies, and then I started doing monthlies for Marvel themed, Marvel focused monthlies.
Yep.
And then
how was the turnout back then?
Back then, probably we were getting maybe 20-30 people for Marvel. But we had enough for 3 weekly teams.
For our city, that's pretty healthy.
Yeah, we had 3 weekly teams. We had singles.
Yep.
And then we would. have like Street Fighter, or like for me, like I was really big on SD back then.
Really?
As well.
You were an SD guy.
I was an SD guy.
Street Fighter 2 Super Turbo.
Super Turbo. And then so I would run like maybe SD side events, and we suddenly got like the OGs in as well.
Okay, so
like
even more came in.
The Movie
a
Land
bigger
crowd.
crowd. Oh yeah, Movie Land.
Movie Land crowd.
So Movie Land is an arcade located historical
in downtown
heritage
Vancouver
building downtown
on Granville Street.
There we go.
And
it's still there now.
Still there now. They got Third Strike cabs. They got
Marvel 2.
Marvel 2 cabs.
Marvel 2
SD cab. And no, they have gatherings there every Friday night.
Even now?
Still, even now.
Really?
They're still going. So you want OG arcade action, fighting game action in Vancouver? Movie Land.
Friday nights.
Yeah, Friday nights.
Maybe we'll get some on the podcast. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
With Magic Stronghold, you have weeklies and monthlies. We also have the campus events, the CGC. Was that after the whole Stronghold?
That was well after. That was perhaps, I think, 2 years after Stronghold started.
Because I think Ultimate was...
Ultimate was out. We were already into AE.
Were we?
I was.
Oh yeah, you and...
Yeah, we were into AE. We were in AE back then.
Right.
And, yeah, so the CGC events was... Devinder was their fighting game.
And Jesse.
Yeah. So it was Jesse and Dave. Well. And then Devinder was actually kind of... He was kind of my boy that I started training, you know, because like he was my helper for crossover.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, and yeah, he was always like in the games room, a guy that was interested in fighting games.
Hey, he was an awesome dude.
Yeah, awesome dude. And then like I needed
good.
help, I needed volunteers for my events, and then like campus events, it would be Dave helping me.
Yeah.
And then
he had the leadership, and him and Jesse organized.
By osmosis, like I didn't like really refine and train him all that much, but like
not clearly. Shout out to Dave.
Oh,
shots fired.
But yeah, I would definitely say that like I was his start. I was his introduction to fighting games organization.
Really?
And then when he went to Birmingham, it was like he just started on his own, and I saw him like
him and Jesse. Yeah.
I saw him really like
the growth and
flourishing. And I was proud of that boy.
I am too.
Yeah.
Like he really made it a fun time on campus.
Yeah.
The club wasn't exclusive to fighting games, though. It was also esports and
esports.
League of Legends was huge.
It was Melee and StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
And like Dave was like just the guy hounding and pounding them for fighting games.
Yeah, and you know I'm always grateful.
And I know it was all Dave,
club.
so yeah, I know it was him definitely.
It was a fun time. Everyone there was awesome. We got to know each other, build the community.
And then we would go up there, help him out a few times, or we usually just go. Because like the more we had, the more events we had, it was better.
Yeah, I remember we also held like events, like major events there at SFU as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that lasted for about a year, I would say.
Year and a half. I think maybe 2 years actually.
Because there were
people
you know,
graduated.
Well, yeah, not just graduating, but also budget cuts, I hear. They weren't able to hold the events as frequently as once a month. It just became like 2 events the whole semester, I believe, or something. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember just like Ultimate Marvel 3, it was a hot game. Like, me and my friend would be in some like, I don't know, some bio class and be like, hey man, check out this Spider-Man combo I got in my and he would write down the combos on a piece of paper. I'd be like, no, that doesn't work. We go home and test it. Like, okay, maybe it does.
And that's Marvel 3 for you, right?
Yeah, it was
that freedom and creativity. That's what really appealed to me about it. It was really fast paced. It was fun
It was
to
a
watch.
wacky game.
It was hype.
Hella fun.
Yep. Fun to play, and
it was really popular. A lot of people playing it.
It was popular because back then, again, it was Street Fighter and it was Marvel.
Yeah.
And it was a great mix. You had 2 games, and you had, if you want the chess-like, slow-paced gameplay, play Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And you want the crazies, like in-your-face action,
mix up all over the place, crazy.
Play Marvel.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, not just in Vancouver.
Everywhere,
but like
and worldwide.
And I don't know about Japan or Asia.
Oh, right,
but
North America.
But North America, especially America,
for sure.
Huge following for Marvel. You know.
And and on the West Coast, on our side of the Pacific Northwest, our boys, we were pretty good. We were when we first got introduced to the Seattle guys, we were better than them.
Really?
We were better than them.
Bopping them.
We were.
Really?
We were. Like, we had... Oh, man.
Good job, Vancouver.
I remember Team Vancouver. I remember our team was crazy stacked. We had Marcus, what's his name? Kawasaki Nin, that was his tag.
Kawasaki Nin?
Yeah, Kawasaki Nin. Like the Abbotsford guys were like the best players. Jason was Abbotsford.
Yeah, he was
our
amazing.
best Marvel player. And then over here in Burnaby, we had Brian Toe, our Zero McCry player.
Brian, yeah.
Yeah.
Still around sometimes.
Yeah, it's like you see those three guys coming. They're just like Seattle. It's just like, oh god, it's those guys.
Yeah, exactly. The guys to be feared.
Eventually, I somewhat got up there.
Dude, you're Bionicfraud, man. You got a name attached to you.
Yeah, man, that name, that came from Devinder.
Yeah, and again, that just came from Devinder, if you're wondering where Bionicfraud came from. There's a character in Marvel 3 named
Spencer.
And he had a bionic
arm.
Yeah.
He was the Bionic Commando.
And you used them, right? I should hope so.
Yeah, I used them.
What was your team in Marvel 3?
Marvel 3, Vanilla, it was Cap America, Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.
It was Amaterasu
the cold
and Spencer.
Okay, so Spencer, the bionic arm. That's the Bionicfraud.
Yeah.
And back then, when we were in school, like 5-6 years ago, fraud was a pretty buzzword back then, wasn't it? Calling people frauds.
Calling people frauds, yeah, things like that.
So
the whole story of the name was like, I was playing in the games room with the vendor one day.
Okay.
And then he's like, Eric, your Spencer's pretty good. I'm like, no, my Spencer is awful.
Oh,
it's bad.
Overly modest.
So he's like, you're a bionic fraud? And then I was like, oh, I like the name. I like the ring of that. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds better than what I had at the time, what I made for myself at the time.
What was?
It was Chinese Boxa.
Chinese.
Yeah, because I played Fei Long in like
oh
Super
yeah,
Mario 4,
you did play.
And then there was the Chinese Connection movie, and he's like,
I don't know that movie.
Oh, dude, okay, so it was a Bruce Lee movie, and it's the one where he's in Rome.
Okay, that already sounds
okay. And
ridiculous.
then so like back then they didn't have a word for martial arts or kung fu, so they would call kung fu Chinese boxing.
Oh.
So I played Fei Long, who's a tribute to Bruce Lee. So I was like, oh, Chinese. That's boxer. Chinese Boxa. Boxa. Yeah.
Okay, so that's still a creative name.
Yeah. But then I was like, you see, you don't make names for yourself. They're given to you.
They're given to you.
You earn them, you give them to you. So I was like, yeah, it's Bionicfraud.
Yeah, and you still use that handle to this day, Bionicfraud. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to really jump way ahead. So, we'll go back to the story about Marvel 3. So the game evolved. Time went on. And then suddenly there was some kind of announcement that just killed its momentum. Do you remember that time? At least from my perspective, it felt like Marvel was going on strong for a long time, but then suddenly they announced that there would be no more support for it. Do you remember that time?
Oh, I remember that. That was like when that was the legal rights issue, right? Was it with Disney?
That might have been it.
Yeah, Disney, where like they said they weren't distributing any more copies of Marvel's Capcom.
Yeah.
Because the license, the Marvel license,
expired.
The Marvel game license the Capcom had expired.
And then that was a sudden turning point for the game's popularity because at the time I think there were other games coming out.
Yeah, I mean back there was already other games out. There was Persona.
Yeah, Persona was huge.
Blue. There was always Blaze Blue along with it.
Yeah, Blaze Blue. Blaze Blue was being played. And
Blaze Blue, Persona.
So Persona was actually also really big for about 2 weeks at Stronghold. There's tons of people lined up to play.
Yeah.
But Marvel was always still prominent regardless.
Yep.
But yeah, that time I noticed like there was just a sudden like halt to Marvel.
But not really. That wasn't really the cause of it. That was probably like one of the kind of the nails in the coffin. Because all of a sudden, it's like, all TOs were like, okay, crap, we need to buy all the comics we can. Because all of a sudden, like, oh crap, if we have a console, that something they were rare. Like, so if a disc got scratched, it was a huge issue now.
Oh yeah, because they didn't make any more.
Yeah, if a console got deleted, you couldn't re-download it. So it was more of from TO's perspective, probably yes. But even back then, the game was already on decline. It was already in its 4th year.
Which sounds weird because, like, you know,
3rd or 4th
ST
year
still goes on, Street Fighter 4
3rd or 4th year, and it was already, like, Virgil was just dominating everyone. There was Virgils on every team.
So a meta developed. There was a Doom, there was a Virgil.
Yeah, it was Doom Virgil. It was the Doom Virgil era.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of how games go, like, games develop.
And then it was like, they were so good, like, why wouldn't you play them? It was like Adult Gohan and Dragon Ball.
We'll talk about it in a bit, maybe we might have to go to part 2, but anyways, I'll be honest, I like playing Virgil a lot. He was so cool. I mean, X Factor,
which is funny because when he first came out, we kind of considered he kind of wasn't good. Like, his numbers were long, but they were like high recovery. He can't cancel on whip.
How wrong were we?
And then Devil Trigger was like, then in my mind I was like, wait a minute, Devil Trigger and X Factor, don't they stack? Yes, they did.
They
so
did.
He got mass speed boost, he could whip cancel and X Factor.
He had the ability to.
The real turning point was the sword loops. When sword loops came in, that changed everything.
It did.
Because all of a sudden he's got confirms into high damage or kill from nearly
basically kill.
Yeah, anywhere, and he will build enough meter to keep it going by himself.
Yep.
Yeah, so sword loops was the huge turning point.
There's also a certain other character who had a certain loop, a zoop loop.
And then there was Zero. And then Zero was the character that he has his own assists, 50-50 like mix-ups.
Yep.
On mix-ups. You block the first one, can you block the second one, can you block the third one, can you block the fourth one.
And every time it would be like you kill a character, the next one come in and you're open to the mix-up.
Yeah, it was Mix-Up City, and it was legit. They were 50-50 every time. Like, when I talked to Brian, stuff like that.
Who played Zero May Cry, by the way? Zero Dante Virgil?
Virgil, yeah.
Okay.
Even he said sometimes some of these mix-ups, I don't know which side I'm on, or which side's gonna hit.
And he would convert off it too.
Yeah, and then that was one of the things that he got great conversions off of that. Because if you got hit with a mix-up or no conversions, it would have been fine. That's when he's kind of like in Infinite, right? But the fact that he's got all these mix-up for days, any one can go into kill.
Yeah.
That was really what started going down. So if you weren't fighting a Doom Virgil, you were fighting a Zero.
So a staleness kind of developed. So at that time, what was your team in Ultimate Marvel at this point?
Cap, Spencer, Iron Man.
The low-tier boys?
Spencer was kind of up there. Iron Man was kind of mid. Cap was kind of mid. I mean,
they weren't Virgil or.
They weren't Virgil and Zero. They had some stuff to deal with them, but it was hard. It was always hard.
It was a struggle for you to go.
That team's only good against like certain characters and teams, against like Magneto.
Oh, Magneto was still
kind of good against Doom, but for me, I would play a grounded, like, footsie, Street Fighter-like type of gameplay in Marvel, style in Marvel. And then where Marvel, they had mix-ups, everyone else playing in the air, they had like 3 mix-ups. It was hard, but hey, these are the 3 characters that I like playing. I didn't even build a team around it, I picked the 3 characters I liked, and they ended up having fairly good synergy.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the... Doom,
Doom, Zero, yeah.
But the team, it was fun to play.
That was my team.
And it was your team.
It was me. That's why I love them on Marvel.
I'm like, who the heck plays Iron Man and Cap? Spencer, okay. But
I only meant there's... No, actually, surprisingly, Cap, Iron Man, that team is not as... That's very popular, especially in Japan.
Really?
And Cap's actually a very popular character in America.
Captain America.
Yeah. Every Evo, I would fight at least 2 Caps.
So, I want to take a quick break here. Are you registered in anything right now? So we're at Okizeme today at Vancouver Street Battle. Are you registered in any tournaments right now?
I'm in Guilty Gear and I'm in Street Fighter 5.
Okay, I believe those are starting right now. So we're gonna take a break.
Yeah.
And we'll continue this podcast whenever you finish this. Good. Press stop.
Yeah.